Oh, hey, Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Yeah, I'm rolling in the dirt, man. I got this dirt all over me. And you know why? Because this is the week where I'm looking at Admiral McRaven's 10 principles that he gave to a graduating class at the University of Texas. Now, Admiral McRaven, one of the most decorated naval officers who got lessons out of SEAL training and applied them. I was challenged by my buddy Richard to look at them from a biblical perspective and see what they made me think of. And today is lesson number 4. Lesson number 4 involves uniform inspection. And Admiral McRaven talked about how periodically, unannounced, there'd be a uniform inspection. And it didn't matter how well prepared you were, they always found something wrong. I mean, your belt buckle had to be polished. Your crease had to be perfect in your trousers. They had to starch their hats. They had always an ability to find something wrong. And when they found something wrong, they made you run into the surf, totally get wet, come out and roll in the dirt and sand back and forth. So it got all over you. They called you a sugar cookie, because you're coated with all the dirt, and then you had to work and live and serve and do all of your chores the rest of the day in clothes that were wet and crusty and dirty with sand all over your body, dirt, feeling cruddy. The moral to that was, you're always going to be a sugar cookie in some way. You can never hit it perfect, and you need to learn to live with that and do the best you can. Now, this is one of the most profound biblical illustrations, because the Bible teaches that God is perfectly clean and pure, and that every human being will never measure up. Isaiah 64:6, Isaiah the prophet said that the best human deeds are like filthy garments compared to what God's wearing, compared to who God is. The psalmist says, not only is there not a good person, there's not a person who does a truly good deed. Jesus said, why are you calling me good? Nobody's good but God alone. If you're talking about perfect uniform. Paul will quote the Psalms passage in Romans where he talks about nobody does a good deed. Not even one. No one is good. There is a biblical principle. None of us measure up to the uniform inspection that God requires. That is so dead on. However, that's one of the problems we've got, because God calls us into a relationship with Him, and we can only do that with perfect uniforms. That's the beauty of the Christian message, that Christ says, I'll run into the surf, I'll get wet, I'll roll in the ground, I'll be the sugar cookie so you don't have to, and I will give you my perfectly clean clothes that I have while I take your dirt on. It's the beauty of the Christian message. Now, where does that leave me today, though? I got to tell you, I still got some dirt on me. But I know that that's just left over from my life pre-Jesus. That God is at work in me to will and to work for His good pleasure, which includes making me better day by day, cleaning me up, job by job, moment by moment. And I may be dirty right now from playing in the sand, but I'm not as dirty as I used to be. And by the grace of God, tomorrow I'll be even cleaner. And in an eternal perspective, I have the assurance of total cleanness. So yes, Admiral McRaven is right. We recognize we will live as a sugar cookie. We'll be dirty and crusty, but we don't have to stay that way, because we have a God who can clean up any cookie there is. And that's your video thought for the day.